This is one of the rarest spiders in the United States. Hardly anyone ever sees them or even knows that they exist. Found only in small portions of the Central Florida scrublands, they spend most of their life underground. But why? What makes these spiders so rare? And what makes them behave like this?
I've never seen that before in a wolf spider.
Hey guys, I'm Zachary Gray, and on this adventure, my team and I are deep in the Central Florida scrublands, and we're on the lookout for spiders. This region in particular is home to the xeric pine scrublands, an environment that has species found nowhere else on the planet, including a lot of spiders. From the ogre-faced spiders and orb weavers, to the locally iconic red widow spiders, these sandy scrublands are stacked. Myself, Spencer, and Ben are all hoping to see the McCrone's burrowing wolf spider. And to find them, we'd have to check every burrow, log, and hiding place along the way. But there's a lot more to watch out for than spiders on these palmettos.
Here we go. Have a look at this. A pair of true striped walking sticks. Now, I gotta be careful. They have a really good chemical spray to deter predators. It's called anamorphal. It's a chemical spray that can really hurt your eyes. Come here. There we go. This is a really cool color morph of the two-lined walking stick. This is an orange and white phase. Now north of here, you can have these with that black coloration and a white stripe down the back. North of that, you get orange stripe, and then everywhere else in the country, they're just kind of a boring brown phase coloration. That is such a bizarre looking insect. You almost always see them paired up with a smaller male on the back of the female. See that right there? Just kind of holding on, hanging on. This is a big one too. Now they're herbivores. They may look very menacing, but they are definitely not a species to worry about as far as bites or stings are concerned. But you definitely want to be careful not to spook them, because like I said, they will spray you. Now the toxin that they emit is mostly just a foul taste, a foul smell. It's very pungent, which means for the most part, these guys do not have a lot of natural predators. A lot of times they get caught up in prescribed burns, or they get squished by larger predators walking through, but other than that, not a lot of natural predators. And for those reasons, they don't really have to camouflage. You can see they're pretty obvious on these palmettos. They're quite common. We've seen quite a few of them out here. But that is still a very cool insect that you can find here in Central Florida. That is the two-striped walking stick. Really cool species. We're gonna go ahead and put them back on their palmetto. Keep looking for more. But that is awesome. Two-striped walking stick.
This coloration of two-striped walking stick is endemic to Central Florida. If something is endemic, it just means that it can only be found at that one location. And Central Florida is home to stacks of endemic species. Now, I'm pretty familiar with this habitat and the local wildlife after all these years, since I've spent a good bit of time looking for red widows. But unlike the red widows, we don't actually know a lot about these burrowing wolf spiders, not their venom or their behavior. But what we do know is that like many other burrowing spiders, they likely ambush their prey, similar to a trapdoor spider. So we figured that once we found a burrow, we could coax it out. But what we didn't know is that it would do this.
Well, here we go, guys. This is the spider that I most wanted to see on this trip. This is the McCrone's wolf spider. But this spider only lives in the small little section, the small little strip of the Lake Wales Ridge here in Florida. This is actually one of my favorite looking spiders, honestly, anywhere in the state. They are just super special. He's kind of got like a humped head. They almost look like a little weird funnel web. They're thicker than a normal wolf spider, and they are a burrowing species. Now this species tends to spend their day hiding out in little tiny burrows lined with their silk, lined with these little tripwires. And whenever a prey item comes by, they come flying out, whack, grab it with those big fangs, and try to pull it down the burrow with them. They're a very aggressive predatory species, but they mostly rely on ambush. Unlike a lot of other wolf spiders that are very active predators, a lot of these guys' prey items is going to be found passively. But come nighttime during the summer months, these guys will be out on the crawl, out on these sand dunes, hunting for all kinds of little bugs. And that's why they have that very distinctive white coloration. They're a sand-dwelling species. They're a scrubland species. They're going to be out here hunting in the sand, and they don't want to be seen by a bird or any kind of lizard, anything that could be a predator, they want to avoid. So they've got really good camouflage, and they have really good burrowing instincts. Now he's posing up a little bit earlier, so this is a fairly defensive wolf spider species. And as far as a bite goes, this is not a species that I'd particularly be worried about. It's not like we have any documented cases of bites from this species or any kind of venom testing, but we can pretty well assume that it'd be very similar to other wolf spiders. The very special thing about this animal is its natural history and its range. They live in such a tiny area that I wasn't so sure that we were going to find one. But here we go. That is our McCrone's burrowing wolf spider. Now nearby there's another subspecies of this, the Archbold's burrowing spider, and they get a little bit bigger, but overall they look very similar to the McCrones. Same species, different locality, but they both represent the endemism of the local spider species. They're very, very cool. These guys share territory with a lot of other common wolf spider species, so they've really had to niche out into these scrubland habitats. This is what they're good at surviving in. These little deserts in the middle of Florida. Well, that is such a special little spider. Definitely the one that I wanted to find most out here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing and check out the time that we held all of North America's most venomous spiders. A really great spider video, that one. And we will see you guys next time. All right, time to get you back into your burrow.